Blog Talk Radio.
In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust, as the Republic of Mentellect, the real 144,000 is being gathered in this day and time, as I've always been saying. I'm doing this, again, this don't have nothing to do with Mentellect. I don't want to cross Mentellect with this nonsense I'm doing here. This is just my hobby right here. This goes out to my former follower, Mr. James Smith, a.k.a. Nubrighten, AF None, or as I call you, Nubright Zero, AF None, and your buddy Zzurayss Unclear, a.k.a. Nuclear, Las Vegas Nicholas Jackson. Let me tell you something. I really don't understand you guys. First you said, you did a video saying that you're the 200 fallen angels. This is the video you did. Maybe you don't remember this. You did a video saying that you were the 200 fallen angels, right? And you're the descendants of the 200 fallen angels. And you said in the future the 200 fallen angels will rule over the 144,000. You made a distinction between yourself and the 200 and yourself as the 200 fallen angels and the 144,000 as somebody else, really meaning my people in the Republic of Mentellect. We the 144,000 that you're speaking of, that you said the 200 fallen angels will be ruling over, what you said is you and Nicholas and all those tall people in your organization. So if this is so, then you mind telling me why the name of your group, why you have a group that has 144 on it? Why do you have a group that has electra quad frequency 144? Why are you using the number 144 if you're the 200 fallen angels and you're going to be controlling the 144,000? How is that? How either you're the 144 or you the 200 fallen? Why isn't your group called Elect Quad Frequency 200? And again, the word electra quad comes from me. That comes from me like your name, Nubrighten, like Brighton 10 come from me. You see, that's what comes from me. Okay? That comes from me. So keep that in mind. Okay? Keep that in mind. That comes from me. Elect Quad Frequency, Nubrighten, all those are phrases you got from Mentellect. And you're using the number 144, which came from us, from Mentellect 144. You used it from there. So which one is it? Are you the 200 fallen angels and y'all going to be ruling over the 144,000, or y'all the 144,000 now? Which one is it? And you had this group going for months. And you sitting up here and you took people from my friend list and you took them and put them on you. You a real clown, man. And then you call into my radio broadcast and you don't have a question. You just sitting there listening to me talk. You call into the broadcast. You are mentally ill, man. You are mentally ill, James Smith, a.k.a. Nubrighten. You're mentally ill, okay? You are mentally ill. How you going to call into my broadcast and then don't say nothing? And then when you start trying to insult me as you call into the cast, talking about, you copying off of me because you was once my follower, and then you make reference to me and Dr. York. Number one, I was never a follower of Dr. York, okay? I was a part of his lodge. You see, I was never inside the Ansar Allah community or the Nuwapians. So you don't even know what you're talking about. And again, the double Z's, that goes back further, even back before Mesoamerica. Just like Amen. I'm going to address Amen, ongoing name. And Amen is not the name of a god. Amen is not the name of some deities. Amen is the name of a race of beings. That's what Amen is. Amen is the name of a race of beings. And I said that. How have you been following me for 2 years and you didn't know that? And that's all I ever taught. I never taught that we worship no Amen as no god. And Amen is not from the past or the present. Amen is strictly the future, continuously. And that was recorded in the ancient world. Amen was recorded in the ancient world. The past, and like I said, even now the name Amen was kept going forward. So it's an ongoing thing because we are that Amen race. I'm talking about the elect of our people, which you're not one of. You are truly a so-called black person. See, this is why you don't get it. You're here to do nothing but copycat. And let me say this. Them little 519 members you added into your group, those little 519 members you added into your group, those are people on Facebook. See, the Republic of Mentellect is not just no Facebook group, brother. We a real group. We a real community. with real members. You've seen our conferences, and we're growing and we're growing and we're growing, and you can't stand it. I guess you think that by having 519 members on Facebook that you got a real group of people you added. Nobody's taking you seriously. And I'm only making this video because, like I said, this is my little side thing. And, again, you still didn't provide the Spotify link or the green room, but y'all put a link up acting like y'all had a real link. Y'all ain't got no broadcast. You ain't got nothing where you letting nobody answer you no question. And, no, there is no 14th dimension. You a liar. You a liar. It's a lot of things I could have asked you about that over-carbon thing that you talk about, just stuff you making up as you go, stuff that don't make sense. You think that you can make up stuff and then claim it's coming through you. That's how nobody can ask you questions. But you made sure you kept talking over me because you knew I was about to ask you questions where you wouldn't be making no sense. Like with this elect quad frequency 144 that you're using, number 144. You see? That's why it didn't make any sense. This is why you're doing what you're doing. Like I said, you're mentally ill, man. You're mentally ill. You see? You're showing yourself all to be mentally ill. That's what you're showing yourself to be. You calling? How do you call into somebody's broadcast and you don't even call in with it, but you just call and you ain't saying nothing? You see? And like I said, the things you did say, all you did was call in and call yourself trying to insult somebody. But that's my question really in this broadcast. I want to know, if you do call in next time, why are you calling yourself the 144,000? Why are you putting 144 in the group if you're part of the 200 fallen angels, which you said is a difference? You said the 144 is different from the 200 fallen angels. You said, you see, again, making up stuff. And see, I guess y'all, you sit up here and you lie so much and you take so much and you make up so many things, you forget your own lies. Again, this is a big contradiction in your so-called doctrine. Nubrighten, James Smith, a.k.a. former follower of mine, this is a big contradiction in your doctrine, in your AF non-frequency. You see? And like I said, you really are a sad and sorry person, man. And, you know, people can clearly hear, even outsiders that listen to the radio broadcast can tell that you're mentally ill. Even people who listen to the broadcast can tell that you're mentally ill, that you need help. You and your buddy Nicholas, who you co-signing for, who's stealing everything out of his mouth is mental. Now, you didn't sit up here and deny it when I said it. You didn't deny it. I stood up on Amen, and I still stand up on Amen as future. As a future name, is always an ongoing bloodline. Like I said, do the humans ever stop being human, or is that an ongoing race? The name ain't going to change. Just like the Amen didn't change. We're ongoing. You don't understand that. And again, it blows my mind because you was in the Republic 2 years. And you didn't hear that? That's all I ever said. I didn't just change. I ain't just make up. I didn't say, one day, we here and we worshiping Amen. Amen is a deity. But then I'm gonna change it to we the Amen and that we are the No, I've been saying that. You see, I always made reference to when I say Amen. I said, we always talking about our children, our ascendants. That's what I've been teaching. But I guess you couldn't hear it because you're not part of the ascension. That's why. You're not. So you want to make up a doctrine, and what you claim a religion. We're not following no religion. The Z ongoing, just like the serpentine is ongoing. This is an ongoing thing. When you are futuristic, when you are truly futuristic, not just calling yourself futuritarians, when you are truly futuristic, you are an ongoing force. There's never no stop because there's never was no start. We ongoing. So if you're making reference to the Amen going back, if you're making reference to the Amen going back, if you're making reference to the Amen in a time period, good luck with that. There's no time period for the Amen. The Amen being outside of time, and they came into time. But this is useless to explain to you because, like I said, you just don't get it. You never did. You a black person. You are a black male. You are a black male. So you don't get it. You don't get it, and you never will get it. And you didn't get it when you was here in the Republic because you were never really here. You were here physically. You were drawn to it, but mentally you were never here. You see, you were just here to take what you wanted to take and what you liked, and just basically cut Amin's name out and just take what you wanted to take. You had no problem taking Nubrighten and Brighten 10 and all that from me. You didn't have a problem with that, and that's all of Amin. So you take bits and pieces of Amin, because Amin has always been my foundation. Amin has always, from the time I started teaching, has always been my foundation. So anything that came through me came by way of Amin, the ascension. That came by way of the future. So if you're sitting here questioning Amin, then why did you join the Republic of Mentellect? And I've always given my stance on Amin. If you thought Amin was some ancient being and whatnot, why was you following me then? Since you obviously like, oh, we ain't, we beyond that, then what was you following me for? Why is Nick, and you claiming y'all beyond me, why is Nick still copying my broadcast? You gonna question him? Ain't he your futuritarian, fruitarian brother? Ain't he your brother? Ask him, why is he still copying my broadcast? Why is he still plagiarizing my work? If y'all are beyond me, y'all the next level, why is Nick copying my work? I'm like, he's not adding no next level to anything, and you up here agreeing with him. So you for the plagiarizing. You here for the plagiarizing. You here to plagiarize as well. You plagiarizing off of me, and then you're going to turn around and insult me. That's a straight black devil. Show me no respect, because everything y'all doing is because of me. Everything y'all doing is because of me. Everything. Everything that y'all doing, calling yourself teachers and doing, because if there was no Nuben Menkares, would y'all be up here saying anything now? I think not. And again, if you want to point to Dr. York, you trying to use me and Dr. York as a case study for doing what you do. The only difference with that is I didn't copy nothing from Dr. York. Not one thing. You niggas, your whole thing is copied from me. Your whole thing is copied from me. I didn't copy one thing from Dr. York. But y'all copied from me. Verbatim. And I always stood on it. I said, show anybody prove that when anything I copied from Dr. York, you use the letter Z. That's the only thing you could point to, that we use the letter Z. That's the only thing you could point to. Go back and do your research. Go read Dr. York's doctrine and try and sync it up with what I'm teaching. You will find it is not the same thing. His own followers, like I said, who I know a lot of them, they'll tell you it's not the same thing. Some of his followers came over into the Republic of Mentellect. So if anybody would know, they would know. I was never in the Ansar Allah community. You don't even know what you're talking about, but you mentally ill, man. You don't listen, because when I had you on there, you come on there, you don't say nothing on my broadcast, and then when I start trying to explain something, then you talking over me, and you want to call me names. You ain't going to come and disrespect me on my broadcast, because I wouldn't do it to you. I just wanted to come and ask you questions. Since you want to copy from me and steal from me and plagiarize my work and then slander my name. You sound like like I said, you don't only want to sound like a bitch. You don't only want to sound like a black bitch, a total black female. You don't only want to sound like a black female when you came on there. And you think you're going to come on and disrespect me, and then when I defend myself, you talking about you being emotional. You came up here, that's the most effeminate thing. You're going to come up here on some emotional thing. You didn't have no point to calling in. You didn't have no questions or nothing like that, and you calling me emotional? That sounds like the emotional movements of a female. That's the most just doing things just to be doing things off of anger and energy. If you called in, was a point. Because if I called into y'all show, I would have a point for calling. I would start asking you questions. I gave you the opportunity to ask me questions. You didn't say shit. You said not one thing. You just started going off of what I was saying and started trying to argue me like a female. I felt like I was arguing with a broad. That's what it felt like I was arguing with a female. You had not one thing to say. Not one thing. But nothing from nothing leaves nothing. That's why you did that. And again, anybody that don't like this video, unsubscribe from this, because this has nothing to do with Mentellect. This is strictly for roasting these two clowns, James Smith from Minneapolis, Nubrighten 10, a.k.a. non-Brighten, and Zzurayss Nukun, Unclear, a.k.a. Nicholas Jackson from Las Vegas, my former followers, who still copy from me. You can look up here and see that's the name of their group right there. I got it posted up here so you can see that they're using the 144, but they said they were the 200 fallen. And I'm going to put that clip in the video of them saying they were the 200, he the 200 fallen, and that they're going to be ruling the 144. So you saying y'all not the 144, so why are you using 144? Why didn't you use 200? You ridiculous, man. You all over the place. You make no sense whatsoever because you are mentally ill. But that's it. I'm going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. Amen we trust, and Amen we thank, and in Amen we continue forward forever. That's it. Good night.